Hey, good morning, everybody. Wow, what a weekend. I just want to say a huge thanks to all the people that decided to watch my channel over the weekend, which is really cool. And again, I use this basically to breathe out, and I take in information, and sometimes I don't know how a lot of us feel, but basically sometimes I feel like, wow, where do I go with this? And what do I do with this information? Who do I even talk to about it? So sometimes I just put it in a video and put it out there, just to see and kind of go from there. Sometimes it's just exhaling, I think feels better. So, anyways, short, sweet, to the point, I guess, in the sense that there are so many, I haven't posted in a while. Um, just been very busy, but I do keep up, obviously, with all things going on. So many things. I have the garage. Tucker has his basement, which is pretty cool. But Tucker gets 64 million, likes and watches. I might get. I actually got 5,000 over the weekend, so I do appreciate everybody kind of watching the videos and leaving comments. Um, but I guess what I wanted like to address or leave this video for and message in a bottle would be, current situation. There are so many things going on in our country right now that are just not good for any of us. Doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're on. Current admin, though, continues to repeat a certain statement, and then that statement is fighting for the soul of the country. And when I think about that part of it, I think a soul. Like, what is a soul? How many people believe that there is a soul? And if we have a soul, what is he really saying? So I always, I try to take people at their word. And at the other part, I also know politicians are liars. But at the same time, I think somebody like President Biden, when he's speaking, or whoever's writing his speeches, says he is fighting for the soul of America. Um, me being a Christian, I think to myself, wow, you're fighting for my soul. So wait a second, my soul belongs to God, um, and the only person that would be fighting for my soul would be the devil, right? In a religious sense of things. But at the same time, I think the soul of America needs to be defined. Whether you're a believer or not a believer, I think that the current administration is literally putting us into a situation where we all have to argue, fight, choose, make choices, who we're supposed to like, who we're not supposed to like. I don't get it. I don't buy into it. I have friends that are all across spectrums of race, religion, color, creed, whatever. Individuals are individuals. And that's the way I look at it. And again, look at the behaviors. So, in our current situation, I really do believe that this administration, based on just their actions, right? Because that's the only thing I can look at is actions and behaviors. And that's what I would not judge, but I can certainly dislike somebody based on their behaviors. And those behaviors, whereas less 1% of the population is being glorified for a month, whereas millions of veterans being one day, is kind of a weird message. This whole thing in the last few years, of all the stuff we hear about in school with the DEI, we have the CRT. I mean, there are so many things being presented to our children, grandchildren in our schools. People can believe or not believe, but if you don't believe it, you haven't gone to the school and you haven't looked at the books, or you haven't spoken to your children. So I'm not sure, because I've done both, and it all exists. And I thought, here I am living in a bubble, in a nice little suburb, all that other good stuff, just like the majority of Americans. Um, and you got people in the inner city say, hey, this isn't happening in our schools. Really? Go into the schools. Go see what they're teaching your children. If you agree with it, I mean, that's your choice. If you are thinking they're not teaching, or you think the books don't exist, or you think the ideology doesn't exist, go to the schools. Pay attention, listen to the teachers, get involved. That's what I would suggest. But that's about our kids. But I mean, as far as administrations go, right now there's this huge thing going on between, obviously, um, the Biden administration and what they think should be right, and how in the direction we should be going in. The other major piece is we have unprecedented actions being taken against a former president and a political rival. which I think everybody should be paying attention to in America. I mean, it's pretty simple in the sense that this is when something has never happened in 250 years and suddenly it's happening. I think we should probably perk up a little bit. So, with that being said, again, I certainly don't encourage people to vote one way or the other. I got a big independent thinker. I want everybody else to be a free and independent thinker. And hopefully we all vote for the best person. Some of the comments in there that were left saying that our vote doesn't matter, the Constitution is dead, illegals don't work. A lot of this is just not true. Simple fact is, illegals are working, and maybe they are working for cash jobs. But when they come across the border, they're not given work papers. So if you're an employer out there and you're employing them and paying them cash, God help you, in the sense of 85,000 new IRS agents. I have left many times in my video that I thought McCarthy was a horrible choice for speaker. I think they should have been voted out. Actually, I said everybody that's been in place, 2 terms should be voted out. Literally, that's what I said. Across the aisle, it doesn't matter who they are. It's just a fact. The whole idea behind Washington wasn't supposed to be a central power. It was supposed to be a place where people went, served, represented, and left. Came back to the real lives. Like the rest of us. Go to work. But that doesn't seem to be happening. So there's a lot of them that are just staying there. They think it's a job or a career, or they've been given the right, unfortunately, by us as we continue to keep voting them in. And I say we because we did. Or we allow the system that allows them to get in. Is it a voting machine? Is it a ballot? Is it an ID? I love the fact when I hear people say that IDs are racist or anything else, because I don't know anybody that doesn't have an ID. If you try to go get aid or assistance or sign up for anything the government wants to give you, love that whole thought. That's tax money. But if you go in there, the first thing you're going to do is provide an ID. And if you don't have an ID, you're not getting benefits. So how is it that anybody wouldn't have an ID? Kind of odd, right? So they love, I think when you look at Washington, D.C., they just love to stir. Excuse my French, but they love to stir the shit pot. And by doing so, they love for all of us to be divided. What they fear most is for all of us to actually start finding what we have in common with one another, which is a hell of a lot more than what we don't have in common. Just have conversations with your neighbors, have conversations with your friends, be open-minded to what others may think, feel, behave, find value in. And by doing that, I think it's a great conversation. This is how I learn. So I really appreciate the engagement. Again, first video I've put out in months. So I hope you enjoy it. Let me know. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you love it, certainly by all means, share it. So I would love to be able to engage more. And I hope you all have a great day. God bless and take care.